Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe. This is where men come to rebuild their strength, reclaim their self-respect, and rise with emotional power that cannot be shaken. Have you ever given your all to a woman, only to watch her grow colder with every kind gesture? You held the door. You listened. You forgave. You gave her what you thought she needed, and instead of warmth, you were met with distance. Instead of gratitude, you were met with silence. Instead of love, you were met with the slow death of attraction. You see, what most men don't realize is this. Being too nice is not kindness, it's submission. It's the kind of behavior that kills desire, not because you're a bad man, but because you've given up the one thing a woman needs to feel deeply connected to you, your edge, your mystery, and your masculine core. Today, we're going to expose 4 hidden reasons why being too nice turns her cold. We're going to break it down with historical wisdom, powerful relationship truths, and emotional intelligence most men were never taught. By the end of this video, you won't be confused anymore. You'll understand why her desire faded, and more importantly, how to get your self-respect and masculine energy back. Like this video, share it with a man who needs this truth, subscribe for more real wisdom, and drop a comment to let us know what resonated most. Let's begin. Chapter 1. She doesn't feel safe. With a man who won't lead, history teaches us this. A woman's heart awakens not in comfort, but in confidence. Not in the man who agrees with everything she says, but in the one who stands firm in truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Go back to the story of Queen Isabella of France. She was married to King Edward II, a passive, soft-spoken man who refused to rule with strength. Though he was loyal and polite, she grew colder over time, frustrated with his weakness. Eventually, Isabella fell in love with Roger Mortimer, a man exiled for rebellion, but one who carried the masculine dominance and courage Edward lacked. She risked everything to be with Mortimer. Why? Because deep down, even a queen wants to feel led, not babysat. Modern men don't see this. They think leading means controlling. It doesn't. It means having direction, purpose, and clarity. It means you know who you are, where you're going, and how to carry her heart without dropping your own. But a man who's too nice tries to avoid all conflict. He says, whatever you want, hoping to win her over through passive acceptance. He fears disagreement, so he shrinks. He never calls her out, never says no, never leads with strength. And little by little, her respect fades, because if she can emotionally push you around, she'll never feel protected by you. This is the first hidden reason she turns cold. She cannot feel safe with a man she has to lead. Your softness, when not balanced by strength, begins to feel like a burden. She may like you, but she will never crave you. What makes a man powerful isn't that he's harsh or dominant. It's that he brings emotional structure to chaos. When she's overwhelmed, he remains calm. When she's testing him, he stands firm. When life shakes her, he does not fall apart. That's leadership. That's what turns her on at a soul level. Emotional intelligence isn't just about listening and validating. It's about holding your frame, being the lighthouse when her emotions are the storm. And you cannot do that if you're always trying to please. Stop trying to be the man she likes. Be the man she can follow. Drop a comment. I lead with strength. Chapter 2. She can't respect a man who doesn't respect himself. There's a silent test every woman gives, and most men fail it without ever knowing it happened. She watches how you treat yourself, how you carry yourself, how quickly you abandon your boundaries just to make her happy. When you say yes to things that dishonor you, when you tolerate bad behavior, disrespect, or emotional games just to keep her around, you send her a clear message. Even if you don't say a word, my value depends on your approval. And that is when the coldness sets in. Look at Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor who ruled Rome with grace and strength. He didn't chase validation. He lived by principles. He once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." He understood that self-respect isn't declared, it's demonstrated. Modern nice guys don't understand this. They bend over backward to prove they're not like other men. They think being endlessly available, constantly agreeable, and emotionally overinvested makes them good partners. But women see through it. They sense the desperation underneath. Respect is earned not through sacrifice, but through self-honoring. When you keep your word. When you walk away from what dishonors you. When you say no to drama, even if it costs you her affection. That's when her eyes open. That's when she feels something deeper than just comfort. She feels reverence. If you keep trying to win her through self-erasure, she'll eventually look at you and feel nothing. Not because you're not a good man, but because you stopped being your own man. Don't trade your backbone for breadcrumbs. If she's walking all over you, it's not because she's evil, it's because you laid down first. So rise. Speak what you believe. Set the standard for how you are treated. Not out of arrogance, but because you know your worth, and you'll never negotiate it again. Drop a comment. I honor my worth. Chapter 3. She's wired to test, and you keep failing. Every man who's ever loved deeply has faced it. A sudden shift in her tone, a cold response, a sarcastic comment meant to provoke something deeper in you. What you may not realize is this: she's not trying to break you, she's trying to feel you. Women are emotionally wired to test the men they're drawn to, not out of cruelty, but to find out what's real, to see if your strength is rooted or just a mask. And when you're too nice, you fail those tests. Because instead of standing grounded, you shrink. Instead of calling her bluff, you apologize for things you didn't do. Instead of asserting your values, you grovel to keep her calm. And that's when her coldness deepens. Not because she hates you, but because she no longer believes in you. History shows us this dynamic clearly. Consider Cleopatra and Julius Caesar. Cleopatra was brilliant, cunning, and used to being adored, but Caesar didn't flinch in her presence. He didn't chase her, he matched her. And that's why their passion endured, because she tested and he stood firm. She brought storms and he remained the empire. A woman will always push to see if your words have weight. She'll challenge you, not because she's broken, but because her heart longs to feel grounded in a man who's not moved by every emotional gust of wind. Nice guys don't realize this. They see every test as rejection, and they retreat. They think, I just want peace, I'll let her win. But what they don't see is, she doesn't want to win, she wants to feel you. You think you're doing the right thing by avoiding the conflict, but all she sees is a man who fears tension more than he values truth. And that, to her, is weakness. Don't confuse her emotional heat with hatred. Sometimes it's her last attempt to see if you're still in there, the man who doesn't beg, doesn't fold, and doesn't fear her fire. So the next time she tests you, don't explode, don't run, don't apologize for your strength, breathe, hold your frame, speak your truth. That's when the ice melts and respect returns. Drop a comment. I passed the test. Chapter 4. She craves polarity, not predictability. There's a hidden law of attraction that too many men overlook. Masculine and feminine energy are drawn to each other through contrast, not comfort. When a man becomes too predictable, too available, and too agreeable, the polarity dies. And with it, so does her desire. Think of it like fire and wood. If the wood is too wet, the fire goes out. But if it's dry, strong, and firm, the fire rages. In relationships, being too nice makes you emotionally soggy. You smother the fire with constant affection, endless attention, and the predictable rhythm of a man who's lost his own edge. You've become so safe that you've become invisible. Even in history, passion thrived through polarity. Take Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. both powerful artists with clashing personalities. They fought, they clashed, they came from different worlds. And yet, their chemistry burned for decades. Why? Because there was tension, challenge, and energy between them that kept the connection alive. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't nice, but it was real, and it was electric. When a man loses polarity by trying to be too emotionally close all the time, the woman slowly loses interest. She doesn't want a clone of herself. She wants a complement to her emotion, a grounded force that doesn't need constant validation. Nice guys confuse closeness with connection. They smother her with check-ins, over-communication, and emotional overexposure. They believe if they just love harder, she'll love more. But all she feels is heaviness, no space to breathe, no fire to chase, just comfort. And comfort, over time, makes her cold. You don't keep attraction alive by being everything she wants. You keep it alive by being something she can never fully figure out. Not because you're playing games, but because you're living a mission deeper than her mood. Masculinity doesn't chase, it moves forward, it doesn't disappear, but it also doesn't orbit around her every emotion. It brings warmth, strength, and unpredictability, the kind that keeps her intrigued and keeps her leaning in. So reclaim your mystery, rebuild your edge, and stop trying to impress her into loving you. Stand firm in who you are, and let her feel the pull of polarity. Drop a comment. I move with power. If you've ever been confused by a woman's sudden shift from warm to cold, if you've ever felt punished for treating her well, understand this. It was never your kindness that pushed her away. It was the loss of your masculine core. She stopped feeling your strength. She stopped feeling led. She stopped feeling the spark that only a man rooted in purpose, power, and presence can bring. Kindness is beautiful, but when it's not paired with confidence, direction, and emotional discipline, it becomes weakness in her eyes. Not because she's cruel, but because she's wired to be drawn to strength. And the moment she senses it's gone, her heart closes. But this is your turning point. This is where the old pattern ends, because now you understand, you see the hidden forces, and you're no longer guessing in the dark. Lead with strength, honor your worth, stand through the storm, and stop dimming your light to keep anyone comfortable. You are the man. You bring the frame. You write the standard. Let her feel your power, not through control, but through calm. Let her feel your heart, not through desperation, but through direction. And let the world feel your presence, not through noise, but through quiet, steady dominance. Welcome to your rise. Welcome to the man you were always meant to be. Like this video. Share it with a man who needs this truth. Subscribe for more powerful content and drop a comment to claim your mindset. You're not here to be nice. You're here to be noble, grounded, and unshakable.